Welcome back to Sunday GUNDAY, guys. My name's Jim. Glad to have you guys back. This series seems to be doing pretty good for me. I was looking at a slow start last week and it took off pretty good, so we'll see. I thought what I'd do is bring out one of my oldest guns in the collection to me, maybe not in age, and interesting. This is a Ruger 22 caliber pistol. It's basically a Mark II, or referred to as a government model. This thing has been around, I think, since the 40s is when it was originally produced. And I think the original price on this thing was somewhere around 40 or 50 bucks. And again, I came over here without my notes. So as we go through this, I'll just put information on the screen. It's easier that way anyway. Plus, you guys can see. I have done a lot of modifications to this gun. And it is an excellent target pistol. With that said, it's very heavy. So I thought we'd weigh it first and see what it actually weighs, because I think it's going to be surprisingly heavy. There is a mag in it, and obviously there is no ammunition, guys. I always check before I walk out of the safe. That's right, I said walk out of the safe. Let's put a tear weight in there. And let's see. I'm going to stand up to look at that. 52 ounces. 3.26 pounds. So she's a heavy little girl. I can't remember the barrel length on this one. I want to say that it's 8 inches. We're going to double check that just to see. Five and a half from here out, but the cartridge sets inside here is the chamber. So it's right at 7 inches from where the back of the bullet lies against the firing pin. So you're going to notice quite a few changes on this pistol, and I'm going to try to go through them for you guys. They are pretty interesting, if you ask me. The first thing you'll notice, I have flat sides on it. This gun does not come with flat sides. I wanted some weight reduction on the front, and I had a friend of mine that is a machinist take off quite a bit of this metal. And actually we could have gone a lot further, but we chose not to. And then I was looking at it and I had sandblasted it and brought it back to satin, and I'm like, man, that's just boring. I said, can you mill me a track in there, 2 lines, same length on both sides? And he said, sure. So I filled those with nail polish. I've had to redo them once or twice, but for the most part they've stayed. So I guess that would be one of the more dramatic changes, but the other side has more to tell. I always try to find Pachmayr grips and put on them. eBay's a good source. You can buy them used pretty inexpensively. These are completely wraparounds, which makes it very, very comfortable down here in Florida to try to hang on to, because it is a heavy girl. On this side, one of the things that you'll notice is the slide release is a larger extended one. The trigger has also been done. There's been a trigger pack put in there and it's been modified, and it's very, very light. Isn't that crazy? Let's see what the reset is. Right there's the reset, and fire again. So let's do Captain Obvious. Has anybody seen this yet on this side? That's right. I had that opened up. I was shooting a lot of Steel Challenge at the time, and this thing was getting dirty and giving me malfunctions. And all the crap and everything would be right up in here in the corners. So instead of trying to go and clean it out between stages each and every time, I said there's got to be a better way. So we put our heads together, and I had a friend of mine that was actually a gunsmith for AMT at the time. He's long since passed. And we decided that it would not hurt the integrity of this gun in the least to go ahead and open that up. So that's what we did. She swings pretty quickly. When I was shooting Steel Challenge, I had a Seymour sight system on the top. I did not have this big red dot on there. I have long since retired this gun from that because I've got lighter guns that do a better job, and they'll be on the Sunday GUNDAY before too long. But I put a red dot back on it to shoot bullseye with it. Of course, it's got a rail that was attached to the top. This gun would originally come with adjustable sights. You see that we went ahead and filled the hole up here and just did away with the front sight completely. This gun, as it sits right now, if I was to sell it, I think I would sell it somewhere around $800, the way it sits with all the modifications. Again, I'll put up here the price of the gun that I paid for it. I bought it, I think, in 1997 or 95, and if I remember correctly, the born on date on this particular model, not model, but this particular gun, was in 91, April of 91. So she's been in my safe for a while. So what's that, 95, 2005, 2015, is that the way it works? 2025, I don't know. 30, 40 years, doesn't matter. It's old like me. But anyway, I think this is one of the more interesting ones. If you can get your hands on one, you can pick them up relatively inexpensively. The ones that have not been modified or anything done to them. Unfortunately, this is the one that's a pain in the rear end to clean because you got to take out this clevis system and everything else. But I have a sonic cleaning system. So with that said, well, there's the boss. Hang on. It being able to get in here in all the nooks and crannies and clean this out really, really, really well without having to break it completely down. The only problem with mine is I got to kind of stick the gun down in here like this if I'm going to leave it together because it's so big. So I do take it apart from time to time, and I still use the sonic cleaning system because it gets all in the bolt and everything else. These are neat guns. Oh yeah, by the way, I did the nail polish and the lettering as well. And I can't even tell you how many rounds I've had through this, but this has been a great gun in my collection for many, many, many years. And it will be around generation after generation. I don't know that it'll be in the family or not. You'd like to think that these things remain around and will be here, but the reality of the fact is $800 to somebody may be more attractive than having a piece of history. I think this is one of the great guns for Sunday GUNDAY. If you guys agree or like this gun, please leave some comments. I have been getting some great positive feedback. I'll try to put everything up here on the top of the screen as we go through the video, or you've already seen all that if I've done it. So if you're with me this far, I appreciate you watching. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a blessed week and be safe.